Hey guys, it's Paulina, Curious with AI, and today I'm bringing in uh, a interesting, cool business. They do t-shirts and apparel printing and all that fun jazz based out of the Illinois area, northern suburbs, roughly like right outside of O'Hare. And I brought them on today to kind of help them with some questions that they had regarding how to make their business more efficient, quicker, find ways to grow on social media, and all that fun stuff. So without further ado, I wanted her here live with me today. However, we're having some technical difficulties, in the world of all this, things happen. So I got her on the phone with me, and she's going to chime in as I'm doing this to give feedback, and we can bounce the conversation back and forth from there. So Elizabeth, are you here?
Yes, hi everyone. Thanks, Paulina.
Thank you for being here today. So Elizabeth.
Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. So Elizabeth sent me a couple questions beforehand that we wanted to talk about for your business today. And before we go into some of these questions, what I wanted to show is the screen that I have up right now is ChatGPT, and this is GPT-4. If you are not familiar with ChatGPT, definitely get familiar with it. It is a time saver, a lifesaver, and everything else. So Liz, the last time I did the live stream with you about 3 to 4 weeks ago. I had you on, and I know you started using things from that session. Did you learn a lot while you were there?
I did learn a lot. I learned kind of how to
Okay.
speak to it and to really kind of sometimes you can't always get the first answer on the first go. So you kind of taught me how to speak to it, how to act it from the perspective that I want it to be. And then if I don't get everything that I want or I get partially, to still keep going with it because it'll pick up right where it left off, right? So if I want more depth or more detail or I want to add or change, I'm able to do that. So it's helped me with my marketing content, saved me a ton of time when I want to do social media posts. And I was able to kind of play around with it using your techniques, the way you speak to it, what to type in, what not to type in, and to kind of play around with it to get comfortable with it. So yeah, I've already started to use that in a lot of everyday with my social media marketing.
That's awesome. Congratulations. It definitely is a time saver, and it's very innovative, and it helps you create new ideas from something that you just started, right?
Absolutely, it does. I do want to say for people listening and just be learning on how to use it, I do recommend always rereading what it says. And just it's funny because just in watching how people post, you can kind of tell
Yep.
when it's from ChatGPT.
Yep.
Literally, when you're copying and pasting it, you're like, wait a minute, that just doesn't sound personable. So I do recommend reading it and tweaking it a little bit to your words, your wording, making it a little bit more personable. So, like, it's definitely great to get you started. And yeah, you can copy and paste a lot of things, but sometimes it sounds too fake, almost like
Mhm.
too robotic, and too tight, I guess. And so I just recommend kind of looking it over and making it more you, but still using their structure.
Correct. And I brought this up in one of the videos that I have on my YouTube channel where you can spot easy phrases from ChatGPT, and ChatGPT likes to use like elevate your um embark on this journey. There's all these key things, the key phrases it always repetitively says. It has a pattern within itself that someone that's been working with this like every day, I can easily spot it and see it. So you definitely have to tweak it and make your own GPT customized. And this is a great segue into the screen that I have in front of us. So if you can see, this is not your typical GPT screen. Elizabeth, if you can see, it has TNT Flash Printing on it. It's got everything
Yep.
t-shirt, hat, apparel printing, GPT by Paulina at curiouswithai.com. So what I did was in the background, I created a custom GPT for her. And what a custom GPT is basically it's your seed, it's your baby. It's the one that you're going to teach everything about you, your company, your brand, your identity, or whatever your purpose is for that specific GPT. So a GPT can be a million different things and a different purposes that you intended for it to grow or the results you're looking to get. So with this particular GPT, we're going to focus on TNT Flash Printing. So if Elizabeth gave me, let's say, a handbook that she created for her employees, or a handbook for, day-to-day structures. This is where we would upload that digital file inside of this GPT, and this GPT would automatically read everything about that company and have the knowledge about that company. So whatever question that we would have to ask it within this GPT, it almost like invisibly goes into the file, knows what it needs to answer based on the information that was already fed into it. You get what I'm saying? So like the more detailed you get with your GPT, the more information you feed it, the more you fine tune it, the better your results. You're not going to get that chatter, elevate your or whatever nonsense when you give it that personality and you help it grow with your company structure and your company identity. So with a GPT, you can customize the different questions that I have up right down here. So this is not your typical one. When you open up a standard GPT, they have pre-configured questions for you to start like a conversation with it. But again, this one is custom. So I created a GPT specifically for TNT Flash Printing, and I've gotten some questions that all you got to do is click it and the GPT will start talking about it. So if Elizabeth was able to give this a personality of like, you're a comedian, you're funny, I want you to say these keywords, these are important. We always talk to our customer in this way. We always, end our quote or our saying in this way. This is our tagline, our colors are X, Y, and Z. You have to really, 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 really get like precise with this. And the more precise you are with it, the better your results are going to be. Okay. Did you know all that yet, Liz?
No, I didn't. Ask you, do you have a video where you can, let's say I had a contract, right, and I wanted to know my contract, and let's say I have SOP or a process, and I wanted to know my process. How would you go about like uploading that so it knows it?
So that you would configure your GPT. You would attach it as a document, and you can. I don't know what the end cap is for how many documents you can attach. I haven't fulfilled that area yet, but you can just attach different documents for whatever purpose and specific reason that you're needing. And the GPT, it's a whole separate identity, a whole separate background, and this is something that I offer as a consultation on the side as well. So if that's something that me and you can get on and do one-on-one, that'd be great as well. Because this is very key in developing your GPT and customizing it for your specific and purpose. So when you configure a GPT, you can configure it in so many endless ways. And the better the detailed, the better the results. You have to always think that way. Whenever you're messing around with GPT, the better descriptive you are and the more precise you are, you're going to get better results. Okay?
Awesome. Yep.
Yay. So your first question was related to social media, and it was about like growing your social media presence and stuff like that. Was there anything specific that like you're hindering or you're getting caught in or you're not like really sure about?
It's more of like, with the business that I do, it's very specific to the employees, right? Every employer has a different uniform, every employer has a different taste. Mm-hmm. But then we also have the creative aspect of the shop. So we kind of had touched on like what's trending, what's selling. Some things I struggle with are like quoting projects on how to quote, like let's say someone wants an order of 100 shirts embroidered front and back, right? I want to be kind of with the industry and what the market is trending for pricing. Okay. But I know like with ChatGPT, sometimes its numbers analytically don't show. Okay. Like I think they're kind of a little bit behind, right?
Yes and no. So if it depends on the extensions and the stuff that you have plugged into. So with GPT, let's say if your supplier, the warehouse you're getting your stuff from, if they have a PDF already for you that has like the specific numbers on there, how much things cost, if you upload that into your GPT, then your GPT can get you a more precise quote versus trying to guess who you're working with. Again, going back to what I keep really repeating is you have to be very precise with ChatGPT. You have to be very detailed and specific. So if you were able to upload that PDF that like a vendor has for you into this GPT, then it can get a precise quote for you. You see what I'm saying? So if you can create an Excel sheet with all the different pricing on there and attach this to your GPT, upload into the system, then you can get like really detailed pricing and good quotes.
But would it have like market trends of like what companies are selling it, right? As like,
If you teach it,
does it
you have to teach it.
teach?
Correct. You have to teach it. You have to think of it as like a
Okay.
child, as a child that you're forming, you're conditioning, right? You're creating.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, you're still the creator. Even though this technology exists, you are still the creator and you're still the one that's putting the input. And you're putting the input to
Yeah.
receive the output. So if you know your
create a 7-day social media marketing campaign, and
correct.
it just spits it out, right?
Yep.
And then you take a piece of that and then you put that in, and then it gives you like, give me a post on this topic, blah 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 blah, and it spits it out.
Correct.
So I've been learning that and learning your tools that you've been providing in the videos and what you've been teaching me. So I'm trying to get down now to like the nitty gritty of making it more personable, how to compare what's in the market, what is trending and people shopping for now, what they're looking for, and kind of just stuff like that to kind of be in the trending, right?
Yeah.
And not be behind it.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can actually do the plugin version, which would be separate from this. So there's two different type of GPTs. There are GPTs where you can configure into the plugin market. And with that being said, in the first round, earlier the live stream I did about 2 weeks ago, when I did the demo with you, that was based on the plugins. And so the plugins you have to turn on and configure by yourself manually, right? They're not built into this GPT. It's completely separate. So the particular plugin I was using was a trend finder. So it did that information, that gathering for you. This one is like using the standard Bing search engine, right? So whatever it's searching, it's gathering from Bing. So it's pretty generic, I'd want to say. Where the other one was a little bit more specified in finding the right trends or the trigger keywords that are being asked. So, it's still being developed. So you have to like play with depending on what your results are. So with this GPT that I configured for you, this is more of like creating your company digitally here, your brainchild, your entity here, right? And so with you working with different customers and different clients, I would have separate GPTs for each client stemming from this one originally. Okay. And I know it sounds like super complicating, but when you open the side over here, you're gonna see like a million chats here. Up there would be the GPTs. And so you would just click on it like you would standard GPT and then just open up the thread pertaining to that client. And everything that you're doing with that client, you stay within that GPT. You don't mix, right? Like we don't mix. So keep a separate thread for each individual client, like you referred to before. And so you can create a voice for each separate client. So if you've got the professional client that you need to speak professionally to, you can fine tune that particular thread. Hey, I need you to always keep a professional tone coming from X, Y, and Z, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In another thread, it can be maybe a fun, innovative, cool company, right? And you can say, with this company, we can be casual professional and X, Y, and Z. So you can really tailor it depending on what your need is. So let's do some fun testing. So with social media, you said that you create like different kind of posts and stuff like that, right? Okay. So have you taught your GPT a personality yet of your brand?
No.
Okay. So what I would do first would be create the personality of your brand. And what that means is like, okay, is your brand comical? Is it fun? Is it whimsical? Is it nerdy? Is it trendy? Is it like Madonna? Is it, Elvis Presley? Like, what's the tone and the personality of your brand?
The tone is trending, like trendy, and fun.
Okay. How about for this demo?
Even though we're
okay. So how about for this demo, we'll use Elvis Presley as a personality. Okay. All right. So we're going to configure this GPT. And so what we do here, this is what I was mentioning earlier, right? So we're going here And this is the stuff that I put in here earlier. And so we're going to say personality is in the tone. I'm sure I spelled that wrong, but it's so funny because GPT knows exactly like what I'm saying. It really does. It's like you put in there, it's just like, okay, gotcha.
It's funny because I'm saying,
right? You want to be a nice guy before they take over the world. So funny. Okay, so let's go into here and do some social media posts, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna expand on it, right? So I'm gonna use a t-shirt as a demo. This is a fun shirt that I created that I'm gonna ask you guys to print for me.
yes.
So, hey, ChatGPT, I created this particular concept for a t-shirt that I'm getting ready to launch. And as my incredible source for marketing and creating some unique social media content, I'd like for you to analyze the image I'm attaching and together create 5 different social media posts in the tone of Elvis Presley with a professional touch coming from our company and introducing this brand new launch of ChatGPT t-shirt, funny, whimsical t-shirts. Let's get started. And so we'll put that in there. And so I created this t-shirt that says talk ChatGPT to me. Okay. So you can see it's all right, darling. Let's shake things up, shaking, heartbreaking social media posts. So it's going into that fun personality of Elvis Presley, right? So talk ChatGPT to me and tell me your style dreams. So you see, it read the image right away. So when you guys create these like concepts and ideas, and you can use this with DALL-E, or you can use this with your illustrator or creator. When you create these and export these and save these, you can upload these automatically to GPT and ask to create concepts from what you provided. Right?
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. That's awesome. Okay.
Yep. And by the way, if you guys like the way I'm talking to this on the microphone, I put it into the chat how to do this. If you just scroll above, it's going to say how to get the microphone enabled for your desktop ChatGPT, because I like to talk to it. The mobile version app, you automatically can chit chat and talk with it back and forth. On the desktop, you cannot. So I had to get it plugged in, and that's like a time saver versus having to type everything out. So again, post number 2, post number 3, post number 4, post number 5. So this is the cool stuff about ChatGPT. Okay, you guys ready for this? So I like all of these posts. Hypothetically, in this scenario, we're going to love every single post. Now we're going to say, this is fantastic. So what I want to do next is create a 1-minute reel for our social media. And I have 2 actors that I want to use in some of the stuff. It's Tina and Liz. And I want to create a reel for each single post. Help me to create a 1-minute script alongside suggesting the imagery that can go next to it. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to have to check and correct reel to reel. The videos for Instagram or Facebook stories or whatever you're using, and we're going to get all the stuff in here. Okay, so Tina steps into a vintage record shop wearing the ChatGPT Me t-shirt. She flips through records and pulls out one with the label that reads The Future of Rock and Roll AI Edition. She winks at the camera, puts on some cool shades. And then the next image and the next image. And so what you can do is you can refine it and say, well, I like this or I didn't like this, and ask for a script or a script revision, right? And again, going back to, you have to make sure you give your ChatGPT a personality, because there's no point of doing all this if you don't know where you're coming from. So if you don't know like what your brand and identity is, you're going to get lost in this, right? You're going to get so far down the rabbit hole that like it can get pretty long. I've been there. So, okay, this is cool. So let's say I like number, which one do you like, Liz? Let's take a look at some of this. You want a cafe? Do you want a record shop? Which one do you like?
Let's do cafe.
The cafe? Okay, so that one's number 2. So I really like social media post number 2. And I would like to turn this into a 1-minute social media reel. Please provide me with the script for this alongside the time stamp on the video portion of what should be shown during this video. So we're going to put that in there. And let me turn this into here. Guys, if you like what I'm doing, comment below if you have questions. I have chat open so I can read it as we go. I have, if you're just tuning in, I have Elizabeth with me of TNT Flash Printing, and I'm teaching her how to use ChatGPT for a company to help with efficiency, growth, all the cool stuff that you get to do with it. Okay, so we've got our 1-minute reel for social media post number 2. So it says Liz walking to the cafe, the hustle, the bustle, the city behind her. Of course, you got to get permission with the cafe. You got to talk all this stuff. But at least this gives you an idea, and you can change the scene anytime you want. This could be a park. This could be wherever. And so we're techniques talk close-up of Liz opening up her laptop, revealing stickers of the tech brands and quirky AI references. And then, talk ChatGPT, the t-shirt, forward style thinker, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is kind of just, I'm showing what the capabilities are here. Okay. So did you know you could do this, Elizabeth?
No, I didn't. I didn't even think to use it that way.
Yeah. So, yep. So you can go as far as doing that. And then you can expand and say, hey, I really don't like this version. Can you create another version for me?
Please.
Right, please. In case they come after us later. So here's post 2. So if you come into some blockers and you can't go to a location, or if you have a location already in mind, you got to feed this information to that, right? So if you say, if we have a massive warehouse and it's X, Y, and Z, and say this is where I want to create this magical reel, feed it the ingredients. It's like cooking. You feed it the ingredients, and then it's gonna magically piece in all the different puzzles. If you piece in like who works there, or who your customers are, or whatever, you can create all those stories along with it. So if you have a customer and you want to highlight a story with them, right? Let's say it's organic juices. That's the name of the company you teamed up with, and they're down to do a campaign with you, right? Together. So you can use this technology to start creating like a mood board of ideas to work alongside with them.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I kind of jump back and forth between ChatGPT, and then I create, whatever post based on a social media marketing plan that they provided, and then I create the images on Canva.
Cool.
So
there's a capability there, but it's still in the works, in the process. And I highlighted this on the last chat. It's DALL-E, and it can create for you, but it's a hit or miss. So like if you're a little bit of a control freak and you like things a certain way, I would not recommend DALL-E. I would recommend going to Canva, doing your thing there, and vice versa. If you're open to interpretations and different alternative things, then yeah, by all means, do that. So what we can do here is I can demo that and say that. With DALL-E, can you create a mood board from the above reel?
Oh, okay. So
again, like ChatGPT, or the microphone's reading, I'm saying DALL-E, but it's not that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's DALLE. That's DALL-E. And that is a image-based generative AI. And most recently, Google launched a video one, which I'm gonna expand on later this week. So there's just so much cool. There's so much cool tech stuff happening. It's just you can't even keep up.
Okay. Right.
So we have DALL-E built in here. It's turned on, so you see how it's creating the image. So I asked it to create a quick little mood board from the above. We'll see what we're gonna get. It's either a hit or miss. This stuff is still being fine-tuned.
Worked out.
Exactly. Yep. Through trial and error, and I'm sure on their end, from the millions of users that they're having, They're making it better. Okay, so it's creating like a quick little mood board for you for that video. So you got the coffee shop, you've got like the t-shirt aspect, you've got like the coffee, you know, depending on that. Okay, cool. So what image were you specifically trying to create in Canva with the message that you created? Was it like a t-shirt?
So yeah, so it was a specific type of t-shirt, you know, and that we would emphasize selling, you know, embroidered shirts.
Okay.
And so, you know, like if I would pull, you know, whatever we were supposed to post that day for marketing, find images, try to put in Canva, make it pretty, and then post it all together, right? Essentially.
And you could do reverse. You can create the images first and then post it into ChatGPT, and it'll create a social media post for you, just like I did earlier with the t-shirt that I made. Yep.
So I can't wait when ChatGPT can do it all at once, because that will be a game changer.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Okay, so let's try your way, but with Dolly. So let's do it. Create a t-shirt with a cat face on it as a concept for a t-shirt that we want to create. So again, if you get more precise with it, maybe we can add like triangles to it or whatever. So
right.
This is another way to expand on what you're doing too. I'm about to teach you right now. Let it do its thing. And sometimes I hit or miss. Got some funny results from here. There it is. Cute. All right, cool. Okay, so help me to create the perfect prompt for creating a cat t-shirt that the cat is calico. There's a giant paw, triangles, a city behind a cat, maybe the cat high-fiving somebody. Help me to create the perfect prompt, very detailed and specific, with an illustration based and a style of Salvador Dali mixed with Frida Kahlo. I said Rita Kahlo. You have to go in and tweak it, guys, afterwards.
That's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, okay, so we got sure, okay, calico, giant paw, triangle, the city behind it. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay. So what's gonna happen now, ChatGPT is helping me formulate the right image prompt that I want to use to get this image that I'm just thinking in my brain right now. So cool. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So there it is at the bottom. So that's the entire prompt right there for that specific t-shirt. Okay.
Yeah, and then just pick and pull what you need or want.
We take the whole thing. Remember how I always say you want to be detailed as possible? Okay, so using Dolly, please create the following concept. And so we're going to take that prompt, feed it in there, and watch what's going to happen. It's going to start creating that concept for us. So there it goes. All right, and the countdown's on. I'm going to need some like music. Hi, Ricardo. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're here, please comment, say hello. I'd like to know who's watching and about. If you have any questions, please write them in there. Okay. That's a pretty cool freaking cat. All right. So there you go. So it's got some like surrealism in it, a different kind of concept. And then again, if I'm not happy with it, you press this little recycle arrow and it's going to create another concept for you, generate another concept. If you're not seeing this in your ChatGPT, it's because you don't have the Plus subscription. Get the Plus subscription. It's worth it. Every single dollar. And so we're going to go again. Nope, error. So again, sometimes it errors out, sometimes it doesn't. We have to work with it. It's technology. Is there any other question there that you have, Liz, regarding what we're doing right now that you want me to expand on as we're going?
No, it's pretty good. I have to play around with it, and get familiar with it, and see what it can produce, and
Yeah.
see how to fine tweak it for us.
So the cool thing about it is you can get inspiration and ideas every single day about some new t-shirt designs. So if you think about it, as you're driving somewhere and the radio is playing, listen to what's trending and what some of the topics are that's happening. And you can turn that instantly into some t-shirt or creative content, right? If you go to Google Trends and check out what's trending, you can automatically get some ideas from ChatGPT on how that would best trend. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So your next question was on like building your customer base or your customer service and building the brand identity. So like elaborate on that. What did you want to like specifically know?
I mean, it's just growing. Like, we're in our infantile stage, so I'm just trying to expand, right, and get bigger and bigger every year. And for us, we again like to focus on corporate, and building their brand and identity with apparel, right, with their logo, with their who they want to be and how they want to be represented. I mean, because that's what we do.
Okay. So again, I would talk to ChatGPT just in that format and say, we're really looking to expand our corporate section of our company. What are ways we can use to talk to corporate clients, gain attraction with corporate clients? What should we be doing and going in order to get these type of clients and customers? Where could we possibly be visibly showing what we do, what we offer in the best place possible? So we're gonna put that in there and it's gonna automatically suggest some ideas for us. So LinkedIn would be ideal for you, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I don't even advertise there.
Yep, right away. Attend industry events and trade shows, which is again, that's huge as well. Offer corporate packages. So create tailored packages for corporate clients that include volume discounts, custom designs, branding, online storefronts for the merchandise. Build a corporate-friendly website, content marketing, partner with the business networks, utilize email marketing, case studies, and success stories. This would be great for your current clients and how they found success with you and like, et cetera, that you can expand on and then use that for social media, right? And creating the reels like what we demoed earlier. Direct email campaigns, corporate social responsibility. So that's pretty cool too. Search engine marketing and cold outreach. And these are like the right away phone calls. The cold outreach, which is cool, you can create like a script call for this. Help me to create a cold call script for approaching a corporate company and getting them to be one of our clients. So we're talking. To create. Okay, and let's put that in there. And so what's going to happen is it's going to go through and create a script for us. So if you knew that there was a particular company you wanted to talk with right away, here's where it is. So yeah. And what's crazy is, they have like voice AI phone call operators now that you can feed this into and they could call different places like a little robot for you.
Yeah.
And you might have gotten some of these calls too already, but this is how this is how they're doing it. So, technology is great and also can be wary depending on the user.
No, for sure.
So there you go. So you can build your strong call to actions, get them all outlined for you, and then pass it along to your team. So you can create different kind of scripts, and maybe one Monday or one Wednesday, between the hours of like 9 to 10 or 9 to 11, you guys just cold call and just try that way. Try that effort into calling some local companies and get them to convert and sign up. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
So those are some ways to do that. Okay. Is there any additional questions that you had?
No, not right now. I'm sure later when my brain is processing.
Yeah. Okay. So again, going back to recapping to what we discussed and talked about today with Elizabeth is number one is creating your GPT, and your GPT is customized to your business or your purpose or your project or your whatever you're working on. And the reason for that being is because it's specific. It's specific for a purpose. And so you're creating a knowledge and database within that GPT that it understands you and understands your company, it understands your customer service, it understands your character, your personality, your logo. I mean, everything. You can feed it absolutely everything. That when you ask specific questions or prompts, it already knows what it needs to say. So even as precise as, always have a signature sign off from our CEO, or always include this particular tagline in everything that we ever ask relating to X, Y, and Z. You can get so specific and detailed that you can get very automated. And that is the purpose of like GPT and all these AIs, is to help you to get automated within your business. So that's the recap for today. Elizabeth, before I sign off, and viewers that are tuning in, if you have any questions, please write it in below. If not, I will see you guys next week with another business. If you want to be a part of this show and what I'm doing, visit curiouswithai.com and sign up with a demo with me, and I'd love to help your company learn how I can help you with AI.
Thank you, Paulina. I appreciate that. And I've been definitely sending your information on to other companies. There's definitely interest on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all together on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what I love about ChatGPT and these AI things, it's forcing people to get better, honestly, because there's so much room for improvement and really just getting creative with it, that there's no excuse for you to not be able to get anything that you've ever thought or wished to get done. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So,
well, thank you. I appreciate it, and for featuring me on here.
You're welcome.
And for all the valuable information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being on the show with me today. Thank you. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. Again, I'll catch you guys next week. If you have any questions, comments, write it below or email me at curiouswithai.com in the contact form, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.